Hi everyone, I'm Belle. Welcome to Super Woodburning Tutorials and thank you for visiting my channel. I'm continuing the Grandmaster's chess pieces, a project I have started featuring the bishop and the pawn in my first video, which I hope you have seen. The link to that bishop and pawn video is shown right here and below. And today, I'm here to do the second part of this series, to woodburn the king and the knight. The first thing I did was to outline the design using my Walnut Hollow Creative Woodburning tool. I want to maintain uniformity in all the chess pieces, so I'm using the same universal tip point that I used before. I've set the wood-burning tool to maximum heat because I'm very confident that I can control my strokes on these fine pieces using the hot tips as I closely follow the outline of my design. Here is the king, a very solid figure in chess. And here is the rule of play for the king. The king moves exactly one square horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. A special move with the king known as castling is allowed only once per player per game. The king is fiercely guarded by his queen, the bishop, the rook, and his pawns. Chess is a wonderful game to play. If you haven't yet, you should really try it. It sets your mind thinking, planning, and strategizing. Chess gives you foresight, making you look into the future and allows you to consider the consequences of an action. Playing chess gives you the whole scene of action and how each piece relates to each other and to their situations. And lastly, it teaches you caution, or how to control and think first before you make a hasty move. Just as I woodburn these pieces, I have a plan, and that is to make these chess pieces look as best as I can, planning which parts to keep the lightest and which areas to get the darkest tones. Then I proceed to block the dark areas and then burn darkness into these. Most areas of the piece will be in dark tones, but I do have to leave light areas free from burning to give these areas some highlight. Basing the techniques I've used to complete burning the first two chess pieces, the bishop and the pawn in my previous video, the rest of the pieces come easy as I can use the same dark and light tones of those completed pieces as my guide. In this tutorial video, I've sped up the video so that it won't take too long. I know you can still see the image as it develops when you watch the video. I just want to make sure to maintain the quality level of my work as I finish the project, watching out for the differences between the light tones, the mid-tones, and the dark tones. The knight. I'm excited to woodburn this very gallant knight. So once again, first and foremost is to outline the design. This time, I really find the creative tool using the same universal point of my Walnut Hollow a very effective tool for this project. It is easier to burn in the lines and the shadings, and the more I do it, the easier it becomes to handle this tool. Also, I want to produce the same line and shadow effects on the pieces so that every one of them is in uniformity with each other. In doing the burning, make sure to leave light tones and dark tones. The horse's face has the most details in this chess set project, so do not rush this piece. Take the time to put in the details carefully. The eyes, the nose, the teeth, there should be dark and light contrast. You can achieve this by lightening the pressure you put on the wood-burning tool if you want light tones, or by increasing the pressure you give your burning tool if you want darker tones. Also, another way to do this is to repeatedly go over the lines in order to achieve darker tones, instead of just trying to do it all in one stroke. Then, look over what you have done and, if need be, refine the strokes or darken the outlines. Now it's time to decide which areas to fill with dark tones and leave a few spots white to show highlights or shine. The rule of play for the knight. The knight moves to one of the nearest squares, not on the same rank, file, or diagonal. That is, in a letter L pattern. The knight is not blocked by other pieces. It jumps to the new location. I want to have a feel of working with the knight's mane, so I'm giving it some free hand strokes, but careful enough to follow the design. The horse's mane is one of the most important parts of this piece, as it is the knight's crowning glory. It shows its personality, so give it life by creating long curved lines, dark shadows and light, movement and grace. This is also the one time in this project where the strokes will differ from the rest of the pieces, creating curved lines, which is a lot of fun. I make some heavy strokes to start the hair end and then bringing my burning tool to his face with lighter strokes, so the strokes just fade in. Here, I'm putting more pressure on the universal tip to really darken some parts of the mane and also create some very fine lines by releasing pressure of my hand on the point. Give the hair some curves so it does not appear stiff. This also gives the mane the impression of movement. With practice, you can achieve a certain level of accuracy when doing really fine detail. The third of this three-part series, where I will be burning the queen and the rook and portray all the pieces in their chessboard setting, will be coming soon. So stay tuned, okay? This work is almost done. Then we can give some final touches to our knight. The knight is finished, and here it stands side by side with the pawn. I can clearly see that the two pieces are in uniformity with each other, strokes, light, and shadows. And here as well are the bishop and the king, which definitely shows that equal tonalities have been achieved in wood-burning these nice chess pieces. I want to thank you for coming to my channel. If you liked this video, please leave me a comment and a thumbs up. Thank you. This is Belle, hoping you all keep well and stay happy. See you in the next one soon. Goodbye.